Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Relocation with Nat. I hope you're doing well. You never know what's going to happen in the Dominican Republic. 2 weeks ago, I decided to go to this online networking meeting, and I really didn't dig deep enough to figure out where I was going. But I ended up all the way in a networking meeting in Scotland. And this is where I met my next guest, Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hello there, Nat. How are you?
I'm really good, and I'm excited to have this conversation with you because the viewers want to know all the things. They want to know what is going on here, what are the things they should be looking out for, who should they trust, who should they not trust, and they want to know from us, who the people who are living here, how it's working out for us. But before we dive into that, I want to make sure that the viewers know if you are liking this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can get updates on the next episodes that are coming out, probably as I move forward on a weekly basis. So, Jim, I'm still a wee baby compared to how long you've been living here. How long have you been in the DR?
I have been living here 20 years now.
20 years. So you are a veteran.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And of course, people are they're gonna want to know if I don't ask the question, they're gonna put in the comments. So, what brought you to the DR? What made you decide to come here?
The first time I came here, it was just simply a holiday. I came for a
Yeah.
week, and I kind of liked it, and I came back. So it was a very, very gentle start. I had the Dominican Republic recommended to me by someone I knew. So I thought, yeah,
Hmm.
give it a try. So it was just a short visit, and I liked it. So I came
And
back.
you liked it, and you came back. And
Mhm.
I guess that would be my first question. What are your biggest likes of the Dominican Republic? Obviously, the weather has to be one of them.
Yeah, it absolutely is because I'm from the west of Scotland, and believe me, we get a lot of grey skies and we get a lot of rain and we get cold winters. Nothing like Canada in terms of cold,
It's
but
similar, yes,
yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
plenty cold. So the things that I like about the Dominican Republic, and you know, I would say my likes have kind of matured over those 20 years. What I liked initially, it's still there, but as I've got to know the Dominican Republic more, my likes have actually increased and deepened. Actually, I like the people. I like the feeling of freedom and independence. I'm not a guy
Mm,
to be told what to do. So
yeah,
the UK, for instance, just wouldn't suit me at all anymore. That feeling of freedom, I just love it. You've not got the government in your back all the time. If you don't do silly things that's going to attract the police to you, etc., etc., you're left to
yeah.
go on and live your life. And I actually rate freedom and independence very, very highly.
Absolutely. And I think that there's a certain myth here that you can pretty much do whatever you want whenever you want. But I think if you stick under the radar and you are just living, I say you're just allowed to live. You're
Yeah.
allowed to be, and that's all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And as long as you don't get met into any messy stuff, you'll be okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, I once met a guy. This is completely off the story, but you might find it interesting. I met a guy when I was at Puerto Plata Airport, and you know he was kind of sitting there in the departure lounge, kind of all battered and bruised about the face. So
Hmm.
I didn't say anything to him, but he started talking to me, and he told me, he'd been beat up and robbed. So I'm really sorry to hear that. So listeners, you're getting to hear the bad side of the Dominican Republic, but I'm going to put it into context. So obviously, asked him, what happened, give me some detail. So basically, he was blind drunk one night
Mm.
in the bad end of town,
Hmm.
wearing a gold watch and a gold chain.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen to you? That's not particular to the Dominican Republic. It could have been anywhere, and that would have probably happened to him. So, my takeaway from that is if you're stupid, bad things are probably going to happen to you. If you conduct yourself sensibly, I've been 20 years here. I have never
Yeah.
had any problems like that. Never.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that I often see online people who put, questions, is it safe in the Dominican Republic? It's as safe as anywhere else. I mean, if you're walking around
Depends
at
what you do,
midnight,
depends
yeah,
where you go. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And we
So,
could say that about anywhere in the world now.
oh, 100%. And I think that you just have to make good choices when you're traveling and when you come down here. So
In
if
life in
you've been
general, you have to make good choices.
absolutely, so you've been have you always been on the North Coast in your 20 years?
No, no. We actually spent 3 years. I say we is myself, my two daughters. I've got a 19-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old daughter. About 10 years ago, we lived down in the south coast in a city called San Pedro de Macorís. So it's down in the
Okay.
Caribbean coast. And again, we enjoyed that experience, but we came back when the girls got to about kind of secondary school age. We came back up to the north coast. So probably 17 out of the 20 years has been north coast.
And you live in an area that is a little bit more, would it be fair to say remote?
Well, I wouldn't call it remote. We,
Okay.
we are in the main road from Puerto Plata to Santiago.
Yeah.
Santiago being the second city in the Dominican Republic. We are about 30 minutes travel from Puerto Plata. It's a small country town.
Yeah.
So it's kind of got everything you need. It's even got a little supermarket, but it's certainly not a city. But I
Okay.
like
And
it because
so I guess
it's off
to,
the big city side of things.
and if everybody's a little bit curious, clearly you have the internet.
Yes, we do have the internet.
That's another question I get sometimes is, can I have the internet? Of course you can have the internet. Sometimes I think it's even more efficient here than it is back in my home country.
Yeah, it's same for me. Sometimes I've got a better connection than than people back in the UK. Again, the local company. There's different grades of internet speed you can pay for. I pay for the best I can get because it's kind of important to communicate.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good internet connection is certainly available here, even in a
So
small town like mine.
yeah, and if there's so for all the likes that you have, there has to be things that even after 20 years drive you a little bit crazy.
Mosquitoes. Um, but that depends where you are. Like where we are in Imbert is the name of the town. We it can be we can get certainly in the winter time we can get quite a lot of rain, and
Yeah.
the the, the kind of water that lies in little pools, even in the half a coconut or something, will attract mosquitoes. So that kind of period, like when the sun's just coming up in the morning and when the sun's going down in the evening, I've kind of got to just give the garden back to mosquitoes because I can't take it.
Yeah.
That's
Is
probably
that
that's probably one of my biggest dislikes about
that's
the
your biggest one? Do you have any other things that drive you a little bit nutso?
probably not really because I've actually I found myself settling into the kind of way of life over here, and I think that's maybe an important subtlety to just make the point of, you know,
Yeah.
if you, I'm Scottish, so if I come to Dominican Republic thinking, well, that's not like Scotland, that's not like Scotland. If I keep comparing the Dominican Republic to Scotland, I'll probably find a lot of things I don't like. But
Yeah.
if I kind of embrace the Dominican Republic with a kind of open mind, there's not too many things that actually get in my nerves.
Yeah. Because I think that that's what you're talking about is that idea of adaptability, of flexibility, and embracing what you've decided to live with. Because
That's
many
right.
people do come down and they want the comforts of home, but it's not necessarily your home. You're also choosing to be here because you're choosing something different. And do you speak after 20 years? Do you speak fluent Spanish?
I wouldn't call it fluent. My daughter certainly don't call it fluent, but in the small town where I live, almost nobody talks English, so I'm obligated to speak Spanish on a daily basis. So it's pretty good, but it's not fluent.
But you can get by.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And do you feel like that's one of the important things people should consider when they're going to come down here, if they're going to come down for a long period of time?
Yeah, I think it's very, very important to make some effort to learn the language. Um, Otherwise, you are always kind of separate from the people, because certainly in the tourist areas, you'll find a lot of people who will talk English. But once you get off the tourist trail, you know, if you're in the middle of Santiago, you're in the middle of Puerto
Yeah.
Vallarta, the number of people you will meet who will speak English is few. So you really do need to make that effort. Otherwise, you'll always be a little bit outside of the
Mhm.
community. If you want to kind of become kind of semi-Dominican, you need to make that effort. And it's not that hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You have your own business, you do accounting. So is this something you've always done since you've been here, or something that it allows you to work, obviously, because you're doing it online?
Yeah, it has become easier as the years have gone by. Um, I used to have to travel backwards and forwards to the UK much more regularly to help clients with various reports, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I emphasize it's a very small business because I'm that age. I don't want to work too hard, as I've told you before.
You're
Um,
mature. You're mature.
but you're very kind to an old man. Thank you. But yeah, with the cloud accounting and so forth,
Yeah.
life has become so much easier now. So they need to kind of fly backwards and forwards just to get reports done. Um,
Yeah.
that just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. And now, I mean, the options of remote work are so big, and people need to understand that if you are deciding to come down here, you cannot get a job here. Like, unless you have a cedula or you're a resident,
Yeah,
you cannot get a job. And unfortunately, the wage here is not as high as in some of the what we would call the G7 countries. Um, a living wage here is very, very low,
absolutely.
and I'm actually quite um, amazed how people seem to live and I don't want to even say
Well, well,
survive.
well,
They
let, let,
thrive.
let me give you an example of that.
Yeah.
My older daughter got a job in a local chemist. She was the cashier at a local chemist. She was working 6 days a week at
Hmm.
6 times 7, 42 hours a week. And fortnightly, she was paid 19,000 Dominican pesos. So that's
Yeah. It's not very much.
like what,
That's like
$40?
two. Is that two? No, about $400. No.
No, it's less than that. 19,000 Dominican pesos.
It's
Um,
about $250. 250
yeah,
maybe.
it's not very much at all because
No.
let me think. Sorry, it's 19,000 a month. It was 19,000 a month that she
Oh,
got.
90,000 a month. That's even less.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Paid fortnightly, but it
Yeah.
was 19,000 a month.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
So
probably
that's not very much.
US dollars, maybe about 400 US dollars. But
Yeah.
that is a typical starting
Yeah.
wage for a young person out here. Um, which you compare it to the US, Canada, UK, it's absolutely nothing. But on the other hand, the costs are much less.
Oh, absolutely. The cost of living is so much lower. I mean, you can really benefit from a lot of things. And I think you have to be a smart shopper
Yeah. And
about
that's
what you're
where
buying.
your point about having your own business. If you have your own business that you can operate remotely, you get to earn at first world rates and
Yeah.
spend your money at local prices.
Yeah.
That works out really pretty well.
That works out pretty well. Yeah. So get paid high and then pay low. I love having these conversations with people who have been here for a while, because I love to know, like, what is some of your best advice for somebody who's listening and is considering a move like this?
I'm a great believer in baby steps. That's what I did myself. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm also a great believer in taking action. Um, so if there's someone out there who thinks this might be for them, I would say take action. Um, you know, put yourself up at a week's holiday or something. Come out here. Um,
Hmm.
when you're out, say hello to Nat, say hello to me. And if you like it, then come back for a longer period. But the second time, don't just be a tourist. Start to go to
Hmm.
the place. That would be how I would start.
That's why we're so aligned, Jim, because I think the same way. It's really important to come and live the life to see if it works for you. Because I know people who've come down, they've tried it for a couple months and they thought, well, I cannot do this all the time.
Yeah.
It really does. It is a different way of living. It is, I mean, a different way. It's not that different, but you definitely have to adapt to a few things that are not probably the same in your home country. So those are really important. But the try the week, I say at least come down for a month where you are really integrated into living here, not just vacationing.
Yeah, you need to get out of being just a guest in a hotel because you're never really living in the Dominican Republic if you're staying at a hotel. You're just a tourist. You might be
Mhm.
anywhere in the world. So you've got to make that move, I think, where you're at least renting your own place, it might be
Yeah,
furnished or whatever, for a period, as you say, a month or whatever. I know a lot of Canadian people, the snowbirds, they come down here and they spend the winter months. You don't have to come here and live all year round. You can come down, at the time of year that suits you. You'll get the benefit of a few months getting away from the snow and the cold, etc., etc.
absolutely.
Whatever works for you. That's one of the great things about the Dominican Republic. There's so few nasty rules and regulations. You can actually cut the cloth to fit you.
Absolutely. I love it. Any last words of wisdom for our listeners?
Ooh, words of wisdom. I come back to this point. Take action. Because I've been guilty of it in the past myself. So often in life we think, yeah, that's quite a good idea. I must do something about that. So if you're listening to what we're saying here and you think this could be something that could benefit your life, take action.
Hmm.
Come down for a week, stay in a hotel someplace, reach
Yeah.
out to Nat, reach out to me, and you know, maybe you'll never come back. Maybe you'll talk to us and never want to talk to us again. But hey, give it a
Yeah.
try. Give it a try. Life is short.
Yeah, absolutely. I told somebody once, they questioned, they're like, I don't know, what should I do? I said, just get on the plane. Get on the plane. You're not going to know unless you get on the plane and you get here and you find out. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
definitely agree on trying it out and not living like it's on a vacation. Learn the language because that's if you want to communicate with the locals, and especially if you're in a more remote side or where there's less English spoken, absolutely. And just enjoy the nice weather that's here all the way around, except for the wet rainy season when the mosquitoes are
that's right.
out. If you are looking to relocate and you're not sure what to do and what steps to take, I'd love to have a conversation with you to see how that happens. You can reach me in the calendar link in the description. You can, if you have any questions for Jim, we're going to drop his email there too, so you can contact him. But whatever you choose to do, I hope you have a great day and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for being here, Jim.
Very welcome. Have a great
Bye for
day.
now.
Bye bye now.
Bye.